Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We meet again in the talk of introduction to uh, research proposals. In this occasion, I'm going to talk about chapter 1 of research proposal is called introduction. Introductions consist of some subsections. They are background, a statement of the topic area, a statement of research problem and justification for studying it, research objective, research significance, research scopes, and operational definitions. Let's talk one by one. First, introduction. Introduction sections consist of 4 subsections. Once again, what are they? Do you remember? Background, yes. Statement of the topic areas, covering the problem in broad scope, and then specific problem to be studied, a reason why it was important to study, for example, by showing gaps in research and how it applied to the larger field of research. And next, research objectives, significance of the study, research scope, and the definition of a operational term. Okay, so I think not 4, but 7, right? 7 subsections. Okay, let's talk one by one. The subsection of background. The background information is used to identify and describe one or more of the context, whether it's philosophical, historical, social, economic, temporal, political, technological, gender, etc. So this background information used to identify and describe one or more of the context required by the reader to understand the research problem and its significance. Sufficient background information reflects the author's understanding of the research problem to be studied and stimulates confidence in the overall quality of the analysis and findings. Okay, and the next subsection is called a research topic. A research topic is the broad subject matter addressed in the study. Thus, the statement of the topic area is the statement problem in a broad context. To make this statement convincing, it is usually supported with a summary of previous research. The use of effectiveness sources will help you to find a research topics. The next subsection is called a research problem. A research problem is the educational issue, a difficulty or a conflict to be eliminated. It can be a condition to be improved, or it a concern to handle, or it a troubling question, or it can be a theoretical or practical controversy or a gap that exists in scholar literature addressed in his study. For instance, continuing with the topic, he identified maybe a researchers look at the perception of pre-service of teachers towards the use of a kind of technology as a complementary learning tool in FA classes. The problem is that very little attention has been given to student perception of the use of effectiveness of that technology as complementary learning tool in FL teacher education, so that there is no appropriate empirical data to prefer the ground for a more recent use of the online learning tool in pre-service FL teachers classroom. So by researching this problem, such necessitated data could be obtained. So this is one of the examples to identify the topic. Okay, the research problem is then stated specifically in the form of questions. In these subsections, a quality study and action research usually uses the term research questions, while quantitative research uses the term problem statement. Okay, I emphasize that in research problem, for qualitative study and action research, you usually use the term research question, while quantitative research uses the problem statement. They are exactly the same. This subsection is the focal point of a research proposal because this is the place where writer identifies and clearly, precisely states the specific problem to be investigated. The question should be SMART, stand for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Okay, then the third subsections in the introduction, chapter 1 is called the significance. The significance of the study subsection creates a perspective for looking at the problem. It points out how the study relates to the larger issues and uses a persuasive rationale to justify the reason for the study. The significance, it makes the objective worth pursued. The significance of the study points out the benefits to get if the study is done and to whom it is important. The next subsection of the introduction is called research scope. Describe the limitation in finite scope of the study, which is often imposed by time and budget constraints. The limitations could also be caused by administrative, geographical, ideological, or other restrictions. The boundaries cover the issues or variables. The limitation of the study precisely describes the same pool of participants and the method and the data to be collected, and describe the extent to which he believed the limitation degrade the quality of the research. The last subsection in background is called operational definition. The operational definition subsection is used to clarify the meaning of special terms used in the research. Thus, this section is included in a proposal only if it is uses terms that are unique to the field of inquiry or that might not be understood by the general readers. So a common example for operational definitions is like this. For the purpose of this research, improvement is operationally defined as a post-test score minus pre-test score. Okay. So the introduction of chapter 1 is essentially a mini version of the much larger review of the literature chapter 2 and can be thought of as highlighting certain segments or pieces of it. That is why some researchers prefer to write the introduction after they have actually completed much of the literature review. This section can certainly be written early in the research process, but the researcher should revisit it after he has completed his literature review to ascertain that both sections are considered one to another. The length of an introduction depends on the complexity of the research topic. The introduction sections of an undergraduate research proposal should ideally be shorter than those of a postgraduate research proposal. However, it is generally around 400 to 500 words. Thus, it must avoid unnecessary background information and repeating the same information. Exaggerating the importance of the work and claiming novelty without the proper literature should also be avoided. Okay, well, I think that's all about chapter 1 of research proposal, which consists of background, research topic, research problem, objective, significance, research scope, and operational definition. That's all what I can share today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope we can meet soon in next related videos. Have a great day. See you soon.